Good morning, everyone. I'm Swati, Assistant Professor from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and I'm here to tell you the subject Object-Oriented Analysis and Design. Okay, and the topics that what we are going to cover in this today's class is about the two main topics we are going to discuss. The first topic is attributes of the complex systems, and the second topic is organized and disorganized complexities. So these are two different topics, and we are going to learn in this class about those two topics. Okay. So before going to the class, I'm going to tell you one thing, that today I'm not going to accept the students who are not logging with their register number. A few of them are still getting into the class with their names or with their mobile names. Okay, for those students I'm going to remove them, and for the rest all I'm going to accept. So today topics that what we are going to cover in this class is attributes of complex systems, and the second topic is organized and disorganized complexities. Okay, so going to the first topic, attributes of complex systems. Okay, so in the last class we have already studied about what is a system and what do you mean by the complexity, right? A system is nothing but the components put together to form is called as a system, and the complexity in the terms is called as an difficulty. Okay, so here we have studied in the last class about the what are the difficulties that we face while developing a system, right? So that we have seen in the last class. And what are the attributes that are responsible for the complexity of the system is that we are going to see in this today's class. Okay, so we have 5 attributes which are responsible for the complexity of a system. Okay, so of that, the first one of that is hierarchic structure. Okay, the second one is relative primitives. The third one is separation of concerns, and the fourth one is common patterns, and the fifth one is stable intermediate forms. Okay, so first we are going to discuss about this hierarchic structure. Okay, so what do you mean by the hierarchy? So we generally know what do you mean by hierarchy is nothing but the levels to the from higher level of abstraction to the lower level of abstraction, right? So that means what do you mean by the higher level of abstraction to the lower level? So taking that as a huge system, decomposing that to its until its root level is nothing but the hierarchy, right? So here what we are going to discuss in this hierarchic structure is that hierarchic structure of any system is also going to cause the complexity. That is the one attribute. That means having the system as a huge and dividing that into the number of the components until its last level, that is called as a lower level of abstraction. Okay, so that process of the dividing of a system into its hierarchic structure is one thing going to cause the complexity of a system. Okay, and simply to tell, complexity, every complexity takes the hierarchic form, and here complex system is interrelated. Complex systems will have the interrelated subsystems. Okay, so while talking about the hierarchic systems, we know that we'll have the root, and it is going to be decomposed to its lower level. Okay, to its leaf. Wait a minute. Okay, it is decomposed to its leaf node. Okay, so to its leaf, coming to its leaf node, to its end. Suppose if the one who is going to divide that into its subsystems, if they have done that in the wrong way. Okay, so that means if the proper analysis has not been made on the subsystem, on the hierarchic structure of that system, then what is that going to happen? Again, they are not going to do the proper hierarchy of the structure. Okay, then next, what is the problem that is going to arise there? The problem that is going to arise there is the improper analysis, that what we have discussed in the last class. If the one who is going to do that division of that of the system, then division of the system, if they are clearly aware of what the system is, how it is going to happen, and what is the behavior of the system, then they can then they can do this hierarchic structure properly. Okay, next, the second one is nothing but the relative primitives. So what do you mean by this relative primitives is, so choice of the components. Choice of the components is nothing but the relative primitives. Okay, so arbitrarily they have chosen some components and they have grouped up and they have made that as a structure, then it is also the one going to cause the complexity of the system. Okay, choosing the wrong components is nothing but the relative primitive complexity. That is the second attribute. Okay, next, third, that means suppose if the if the system has a one class and they have chosen the wrong objects into that class, okay, then it is going to cause the problem. Okay, and suppose if the objects are, if all the objects are same and the class they have chosen is the different for their interaction, for their relationships and all, then again what is the problem we are having here? Again, it is nothing but the wrong selection of the components. Components is nothing but the parts that what we are taking to build up a system. Okay, so here the first thing what we have discussed is about the division of a system into its hierarchy. If it has been done wrong, it is again going to cause the system complexity, and taking the wrong components is also going to cause the complexity. Okay, next, separation of concerns. So what do you mean by the separation of concerns? Okay, separation of concerns. While we are going to divide by using this hierarchic structure of the first primitive, okay, while we are going to define while we are going to divide that into the each and every individual part, that means while we are going to decompose that. Okay, so if we have not decomposed, here we have said a problem that in the first thing, what is the complexity here? That means dividing that into the improper subsystems is going to cause a problems. Okay, next, separation of concerns is also a way related to this hierarchic structure. So suppose if we have divided, and if the connections between and suppose if the connections between that subsystems has not been properly done, that means if we have without understanding the behavior of the system, if we have divided that system into its subsystems, then what is that going to happen here? It is going to cause the problem. How it is going to cause the problem? It is nothing but, see, suppose if we have taken here a system and it is divided into the subsystems. Okay, these are the three subsystems that it has been divided, this main system. Okay, system, it is divided as system 1, system 2, and to the system 3. These are the three subsystems we are having here. And suppose if a part of this subsystem 2, it belongs to this subsystem 1. Okay, and if they have without the proper knowledge of or the proper analysis of the system, if they have divided in this way, then what is that going to happen? It is going to arise a problem. So what is this problem here? Okay, this subsystem 2 also, The subsystem 2 also belongs to the subsystem 2 also belongs to the subsystem 1, but they have divided again this as an this whole collectively is a subsystem 1 according to the proper analysis, but they have made this as the 1 and 2. So what problem we are going to arise? The logical connectivity of working between the two systems is going to be wrong. Okay, wrong. So what we are going to call this as? We are going to call this as interconnected and intra-connected network here. Okay, so what do you mean by this interconnected and intra-connected here? So we can say this subsystem 1 and this subsystem 3 are interconnected with each other, and next here we can call this as intra-connected here. Okay, if this subsystems has not been divided without the proper analysis, then these types of problems of separation of the subsystems arises. Separation problems. Next. Okay, the next fourth primitive is the common patterns. So what do you mean by the common patterns? Okay, so developing any system from the we develop the computer systems from the scratch, but for the complex systems we will not build a complex system directly. Okay, we will not take the n number of the components. For example, we don't take the 100 components at a time, and we don't build up the system complex system at a time. So what do we in general we do is we first build a simple system, and from that to that what are the additional features that what we want to add, all that we will add and we'll make up that the complete system. Okay, next here what do you mean by this common patterns is hierarchical systems. Usually they'll have the different kinds of subsystems, right? This is a hierarchical system and this has a different subsystems, and combining of this into the various so suppose if any part of this subsystem is useful for this to solve the complexity, then using of this common patterns is the also the one solution. But taking of the right subsystem as a solution to the complex system is the one important thing. Okay, next the next one is the stable intermediate forms. So what do you mean by this stable intermediate forms is for as I have said here, we don't work for the complex system from the scratch. We develop a simple system and from that we'll go on with working on that, right? So here stable intermediate forms means here we can use any of the subsystem that like how we have said about the common patterns, how we can use that for the common patterns. Common pattern and subsystem, what is the difference between this is a stable intermediate forms and the common patterns is these common patterns they cannot be that subsystem should not there is no necessity that it should belong only to this complex system. It can be useful from the any available source. Common pattern. Okay, that means if the problem arises here, suppose we take the example as login. Okay, login. The login for the any kind of the system that we are developing is the same. So there is nothing but we are going to give the username and the password, right? So that is the same. That is a common pattern that which we can use for the any system. Okay, do you understand? And the stable intermediate forms. Stable intermediate forms is nothing but completely, if we are going to have, suppose if you take the example of any payments, okay? Payments while you are going to do the any online transactions. So what it is going to ask first, it is going to that is what it is going to ask you there, it is going to ask your name, what is your the mode of the payment you are going to do. That is nothing but the stable intermediate forms, and the rest of the thing that what you are going to choose, and the thing you may choose for the cash on delivery, or you may choose for the credit card, or you may choose for the debit card. So all that is nothing but the rest of the subsystem it is going to do according to the user's choice. But here common patterns is nothing but the which is most frequent, and that and using of that. Next, the next one is the stable intermediate forms, means this payment method is common for the anyone to do there. Okay, so and here they are going to give the choice. Okay, after having this choice, they can do the anything whatever they want according to their choice they have made, like COD or CC or DC, right? So that is nothing but choosing of these subsystems according to their choice is the correct thing. Suppose if they are going for the payment, and while the user have clicked for the payment, and it is going to again move to the shopping site, to its home. Okay, then can we call this as this subsystem that which we are going to use here is the right one? No. Whenever they have used it for this payments, it has to direct them to that payments. Or else, suppose if they have clicked this and it is taking them into an another way, then we can say that that is going to cause a problem. Okay, so the proper intermediate forms or the intermediate subsystems has to be chosen, and the common patterns which are available can also be chosen without with the proper analysis. And next, we have to separate this a complete complex system into its subparts or into subsystem with the proper analysis. And next, the correct components has to be chosen. Next, the first of one is the hierarchic structure. The division of the problem to solve has to be done. Okay, so these are the 5 attributes. Once again, I am going to repeat you this. Okay, so attributes of the complex systems are 5. Okay, the first one is nothing but the hierarchic structure. Why this hierarchic structure is the attribute of the complex system is, if a complex problem has not been divided, if the problem has not been divided into the subparts to resolve, that means if it has not been properly divided, then if that subsystem has not been properly divided, then we cannot go for the correct analysis and for the correct design. So that's why the hierarchic structure is also the one going to cause a problem. Next, selection of the wrong components is the other one which is going to cause the problem. Next, the third one is nothing but after this hierarchic structure decomposition, if this decomposition of the subsystems has been made wrong, that is also going to cause the complexity to the subsystem. Next, if from the available patterns, if we are going to choosing of the wrong patterns is also going to cause the problem. Okay, next, the last one is an intermediate forms. Intermediate forms means the common thing that means here like the okay, the common thing, intermediate forms means, suppose if we have chosen something and if it is not going to work in its intended purpose and it is going to do another way. Okay, so that type of problems is also the cause of the complexity of a system. Okay, so these are the 5 attributes that which are responsible for the complexity of any system. Do you understand? So this is the topic which is nowhere related to the topic of the class or anything, or class or object. Then what here is, it is only telling that what are the factors that are responsible for the complex for the problems of the complex system. That means what are the causes to have the system to be complex. Okay, so that if anyone has any doubt, you can unmute and you can ask me. So this is the topic nowhere related to the yesterday topic as the class and the object. This is here only going to tell you about what are the factors responsible to create the complexity of a system. Time is running out. Can any one of you can ask any doubts if you have? And the next topic of organized and disorganized complexities is again relating to your last class of class and objects that what we discussed.